Hello, what's up, guys? So let's do like a video reaction to some of our friends from SD Perumnas Waena. Okay, so they look. Okay, I said it. Probably they are some of my favorite students so far in LTC, and I'm really curious about their performance. So, guys, let's check it out.
Hi, good afternoon.
Halo, selamat siang.
Welcome to LTC presentation.
Selamat datang ke presentasi LTC.
Thanks for the chance given to me.
Terima kasih atas kesempatan yang telah diberikan kepada saya.
Now allow me to introduce myself.
Sekarang biarkan saya memperkenalkan diri saya.
My name is.
Okay, so the student on the left, he's really brilliant, guys. He's translating like he already know everything. It's like that. It's really fast. And also, moreover, the one who wear my eyeglass, he's also really good. His name is Farah, and this is Farel. Let's get it.
Is Farha.
Nama saya Farha.
Java.
Saya datang dari Jawa.
I live in Pura 1 Waena.
Saya tinggal di Perumnas 1 Waena.
I'm student asisten bertingkat Pura 1 Waena.
Saya adalah murid dari SD bertingkat Perumnas 1 Waena.
My hobby is playing a game.
Hobi saya adalah bermain game.
I want to be YouTuber and scientist.
Saya ingin menjadi YouTuber dan profesor.
Okay, he's supposed to be ilmuwan. It's like, well, but it's okay actually. Okay.
The topic today is about LTC program.
Dan topik hari ini adalah tentang program LTC.
Okay, so I asked them to re-explain about LTC program, and so I gave them the material. They prepared. It's like so this kid Farha, he prepared for about probably 2 or 3 weeks, but this one he just prepared only probably 2 meetings, only 2 days. So he's really brilliant because he could do. How can I say it? He could translate and also re-explain on the next opportunity. I mean, on next chance for the second part of the video. And well, these 2 kids are probably going to be some of the golden kids in LTC later. Well, hopefully.
Let's check it out.
Mari kita lihat bersama.
First lesson in LTC we use English game to learn English. So we don't First lesson 10.
Pertama, entertain.
In LTC we use English game to learn English.
Di LTC kita menggunakan game bahasa Inggris untuk belajar berbicara bahasa Inggris.
Okay.
So we don't use
That's
book.
cool.
Jadi kami tidak menggunakan buku.
We
Okay.
use English speaking game.
It's actually not like that. They don't use book, but they still have like written material. Well, we usually give them material like piece of paper. So, well, I don't have the material here. Oh, probably this one. So usually the material is like short material like this, just to help them having topic to discuss about something, to talk about something. And the lesson is formulated as an English game. It's like that. So they are going to do less writing, so they are going to do a lot of speaking in English games. It's like that. So it's actually an English speaking game. So when they play game, but they speak. It's like that. So they are gonna be really, really bad in writing for sure. I tried it already. I checked them giving like a writing test, and almost all of them they failed slightly. Because one day, probably in the future, when they reach junior high school, or even university, when they get English lesson in their school or in their university, they're going to do a lot of writing. So I think it's better to teach them how to speak first, then later, probably when they are brave or ready to speak, at that time we can give them English writing lessons like that. For a moment, I just push them to speak like that. Go.
Game as the way to learn English.
Kami menggunakan game bahasa Inggris untuk belajar bahasa Inggris.
Second, teknologi digital.
Kedua, teknologi.
So this kid, this big kid over here, is really brilliant, guys. I couldn't believe he could memorize the material brilliantly like that. He did also his presentation alone in his school, and that's really cool.
Digital.
LTC, we use Android application to replace book.
Di LTC kami menggunakan aplikasi Android untuk menggantikan buku.
So,
Okay, so they don't bring book at school. I mean, they don't bring book in the class, so they just bring their Android phone because I downloaded some material from Play Store, and some of them I modified also the application. So how can I say it? So the material can have like a colorful picture and also sound, so they can learn. How can I say it? So it can be more fun for them to learn, and they can learn it at home. So actually in the class they don't use. They rarely use the English game. I mean Android phone in class. Usually in the class they just use it as the, how can I say it? As an aid for them to have topic to speak about something or to play about their conversation games, so they have topic to talk about.
then bring book to the class. We bring Android phone and
Jadi kita tidak membawa buku ke kelas, kita hanya membawa HP Android kita dan earphone sekalian.
third, confidence building.
Ketiga, membangun keberanian.
LTC, there are some days we going to mall to do English challenges.
Di LTC ada suatu saat kita akan pergi ke mall untuk melakukan tantangan.
For example, in Saga Mall,
Contohnya di Mall Saga,
we can do English vlog,
Okay,
English dance.
they are actually currently in Saga Mall right now. I mean in this video, we recorded it in one of the food court. I mean in food court area.
So, and English presentation.
kita melakukan
So usually in this mall they do 3 kind of activities like vlogging, presentation, and also talk show. But talk show we rarely do that because it's quite hard to teach them how to run proper talk show. So they just do mini talk show like that. So as soon as I get like a golden boy and golden girls in LTC Jayapura, one day we're gonna rerun again the real English talk show. It's like I'm gonna be the host, and my students are going to be the guests, or probably the teachers are going to be guests, and one of them are going to be hosts. Like nothing is impossible.
bahasa Inggris, presentasi bahasa Inggris.
Okay, for example, you can check in our YouTube and our Instagram.
Okay, so we usually update our social media, let's say once a month or twice a month, so it's like that.
Untuk contoh, kamu dapat melihatnya di YouTube kami dan Instagram kami.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oke, terima kasih banyak.
Nice to meet you.
Senang bertemu dengan Anda. Tetap pintar. Selamat tinggal. Selamat tinggal.
So they mistranslated actually. So actually bye bye is like sampai jumpa. It's not selamat tinggal. It's like that. So I made like a meme like that. And so this is the second chance. I mean, this is the
Hi,
second
what's up
part of the
everybody?
video.
How's it going? My name
So
is
Farel
Farel.
is going to be the one who explained about the program, and his friend Bayu is going to translate it.
Farel. I'm from Makassar. Aku dari Makassar. And now I live
So
in
this is Bayu,
Jayapura.
this is Farel.
Sekarang saya tinggal di Jayapura. I'm a student of SD Impres 581 Waena. Saya seorang pelajar SD 581 Waena. I like to play games. Saya suka bermain game. And someday I want to be a pilot. Dan suatu saat aku ingin menjadi pilot. The topic today is about LTC program.
Okay, so actually these 3 kids, one of their hobbies is playing video games, and the vocabulary that they have is already, I think it's around 500 to 1,000 vocabulary. I did a test already, And actually, it's already enough for a person to speak English when you have at least, let's say, 1,000 vocabulary. And it's really hard for teachers to teach vocabulary to students because it's just really hard. So if you're a student or if you are an English learner, and it's gonna be really hard actually for you to learn English if you don't have English hobby. So I always repeatedly saying to my students, yeah, you need to have English hobby. If you don't have English hobby, I cannot guarantee your English is going to be successful. It's like that. So these are actually example one of my favorite students who have English hobbies. So it's really easy to teach them, and their performance is really how can I say that their progression is really fast. So it's like usually I teach one year for a student to speak like them, but they are probably only when I taught them only, let's say, 3 months or 4 months like that. And Farha, it was only 4 months for him, but because they have English hobby, so it's getting, how can I say, it's easier for me to teach them because they have how can I say, enough vocabulary already to speak. So I just train them to be brave and they're gonna speak later like that. Okay, carry on.
Topik hari ini adalah LTC program. The first one is entertain. Pertama, entertain.
So the student in the back, right there, the student in the back, he's doing his English vlog. Yeah, that's really funny.
In LTC, we don't bring books. Di LTC kita tidak membawa buku. We only use talking game English to learn how to talk English. Kita bermain tentang Inggris untuk belajar Inggris. Okay, and
Wait, what?
English to learn how to talk English. Kita bermain tentang Inggris untuk belajar Inggris. Okay, and
Okay, actually he understands what Farrell means, but he has no probably idea to how to say it in Bahasa Indonesia. Slide. So the main point here, they just use English speaking game as the way to learn their English. Slide.
and we use Android application to replace book. Kita menggunakan Android untuk menggantikan buku.
Okay, so
The
this is actually
second
basically
one
the same
is
material
techno-digital.
for them to be explained.
Kedua, techno-digital. In LTC, we don't bring books to class.
Okay,
Di
so
LTC,
these two
kita tidak
students,
membawa buku
they're the same. They just prepare only 2
kelas.
days. So I just gave them the material. They play
bring
by
our
themselves,
phone and
and
earphone
then
to replace book.
we prepare one
Jadi kita
more time
membawa
in the mall,
Android
and
dan
then
kita membawa HP
they
dan
do this
earphone
presentation. Well, that's really cool, guys. I just remember when I was elementary, okay, I said it. My English was really terrible. I didn't even know English. I just know cloud and sky, langit and awans. Like those 2 words were the only words that I know. But looking at my students right here, they are still elementary and doing English presentation like this, even though they do a lot of grammar mistakes, but it's actually not the problem. It's like well, I'm really proud looking at these students. Okay, carry on.
And then we use Android application to learn English. Jadi kita menggunakan Android untuk belajar bahasa Inggris. And then
Okay, the reason we use Android application to aid them as the aid for them to learn, because well, kids nowadays, they really like to get close with Android rather than books. So how can I say it? Using this as an advantage in English teaching is actually a really good idea. Hopefully teachers out there can also do the same thing, because that's it. We cannot beat technology. So if So technology advancement, we need to adapt it, and then also be friendly with it. It's like that. Well, actually, lucky me because I like also IT kind of things like that. Go.
The third one is confidence building. Ketiga, confidence building.
that's the
In
most
LTC,
important thing.
we may have sometime go to mall
So I met a lot
to
of students who are good in English. They can speak really fluent, but if they don't have confidence, guys, they cannot be able to speak. They couldn't even answer "What's your name?" question, guys, like because they are afraid, because they have no confidence. They don't use to talk with people. So actually, we have another activity like outdoor conversation class to train their social skill. We're gonna talk about it later.
do some English challenge.
Okay, that was Juneta, also of my favorite student in LTC.
Di LTC kita suatu saat kita akan pergi ke mall untuk melakukan sesuatu tantangan. For example, in Saga Mall, we do English vlog and English presentation and English talk show. Di LTC kita akan melakukan English vlog, English presentasi.
Okay,
Presentasi
he got speechless. I mean, he got stuck.
presentasi dan presentasi bahasa Inggris dan LTC talk show.
Okay, that's actually the problem. We are still elementary students, so and I never blame them when they do mistakes in English speaking. Yeah, well, because basically they are still kids, they are still English learner. So the problem in Indonesia, when probably most of the English teacher talks students, they need to speak correctly, and English becomes a kind of horror for students if you teach like that. So if they do mistakes, actually I cheer them up, and also I always tell them that, hey, you do the great thing. At least you try to communicate. I mean, you try to speak slightly. So you just don't learn the material and just keep in your mind and never speak it out. It's like that. So actually, that's one of my way to, can I say it, to let them not be afraid to speak English. It's like that.
And for example, you can check it in our YouTube channel and in our Instagram.
Okay.
Kamu bisa melihat video kita di YouTube dan Instagram kita. That's all and thank you. Dan semua terima kasih. Nice to meet you. Selamat bertemu.
Okay, I think he was probably, how can I say that? Because this is the end, he got probably confused, and
Senang bertemu dengan Anda.
okay, that's it.
Stay smart. Goodbye. Tetap pintar. Bye bye.
Okay, that's it, guys. So that's all for our video reaction for today, guys. Hopefully, okay, I said it. So make sure you need to have English hobby if you want to be successful. If you don't have English hobby, it's really gonna be really hard for you to learn English. And also, hopefully, we're gonna have our golden boy and golden girl in LTC Jayapura. Okay, so thanks for watching and stay smart.